Welcome to What Your Brawl Stars Main Says About You. I'm going to try my best to not offend anyone here, but I can't guarantee that won't happen. Starting off, we have 8-Bit, and you know what? I'm putting him under green flag. Now, 8-Bit is slow, and if you main 8-Bit, well, you're probably not slow because 8-Bit is not an easy brawler to main. And the thing is, a good 8-Bit can be really helpful as long as they aren't countered by an enemy. But chances are, if you stick through that slow movement speed and you get good with 8-Bit, then I would be happy to have you on my team. Amber, though, I'm gonna put her in the red flag category. The thing with Amber is that 90% of the time you can auto aim and you're gonna play her pretty much the best that you possibly can, which means that there's not as much skill involved with learning to play her. So if that's the one brawler you play all the time, I'm not confident you're gonna be the best teammate. Next we have Ashe, and I'm putting him under yellow flag. If I've got a main Ashe on my team, whether or not we win really could come down to whatever brawlers my opponents are playing, and I don't like that. A skilled Ashe knows how to just like use that rage bar mechanic so well and can deal absolutely insane damage and just steamroll the enemies. So I'm hesitant to trust an Ashe main, but it might be good, it might be bad. Now I've got more to show you, but I want to give a huge thank you to Repeat.gg for sponsoring this video. And this is a great one for Brawl Stars. Repeat.gg is a site that holds free tournaments for several different games, including Brawl Stars. Even if you're not like a super competitive player, this is a great thing to sign up for, so click the link below to check it out. Now, anyone can take their Supercell ID and link it to Repeat.gg's website and start earning prizes for your gameplay. Now, you can enter any number of tournaments at the same time, and even though the tournaments are free to enter, you can actually win points that are used to redeem real prizes on the website, and some tournaments will even give you straight up cash. In fact, Tribe Gaming actually partnered with Repeat, and they're hosting a New Year's kickoff tournament with a $10,000 prize pool, and all of your favorite content creators from Tribe, including myself, will be competing in it. Now, here's how this works. It's actually really cool. Once you enter the tournament, you'll have until the end of January 2024 to push as many trophies as you can with brawlers above 500 trophies. And then the site actually just tracks everybody's trophy progression, and the players that gain the most trophies during that time period will win a portion of the prize pool. And even if you don't win, you still have a chance of being featured in a Tribe Gaming YouTube video, and you could get a Tribe Gaming gift pack. But what about people that want to just like, play really solid for a couple hours? For that, you have the Power League Rush format where you compete with other players to see who can win the most Power League matches over the span of 2 hours. So click that link below in the description to create your Repeat.gg account and start getting paid for those trophies. And once again, a huge thank you to Repeat.gg for sponsoring this video. Next we have Barley, and he's another yellow flag. He can be really good, he can be fun to play. A good Barley is insanely good if he's not countered, but if he is countered, then it's gonna struggle a little bit, and I don't love that. Up next we have B, and she is our first add me please. The thing about anybody who mains B is they're gonna be so good at hitting their shots. At least that's what the hope is, right? And she can be so useful if she's good at that, especially because her supercharged shot can just annihilate enemies, and I want somebody on my team that knows exactly when and how to use that. Next is Belle, and she's also a green flag. Now, Belle's not an easy brawler to counter, so more times than not, she's going to be really solid on your team, and if somebody's maining her, they're probably going to be pretty good at hitting their shots, and very similar to B, not quite as much damage output, but in a competitive match, Belle's really solid and definitely green flag. Okay, next we got BB, and I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers with her, but I'm putting her down in the red flag area. Here's the thing, I know that BB can be so good on some maps to counter certain brawlers, especially if you have somebody that's really good at like managing your health and dodging a lot of ammo and shots and stuff like that. But if I just described you, there are other brawlers that just can be utilized in so many more situations and don't get countered so hard. Maybe this is my bias at the fact that I absolutely suck at playing BB, and I get wrecked by BBs sometimes, but that's not what we're talking about today. Okay, next we have Bo, and he's a yellow flag for me. There are a lot of strategies when it comes to placing Bo's mines down, and I've seen a lot of people use them great. I've seen them just not very good. Hopefully, if you are a Bo main, you know when to use the mines on the enemy side, you know when to try and break down your own walls, you know what's up. But there's a really interesting mechanic with Bo where if you move to the left while you're attacking, then you actually do more single target damage, whereas if you move over to the right, it actually spreads out. That's a little bit tricky, and if I've got a skilled Bo player that knows how and when to use all those things, but that's a lot, and if I'm playing with just some random Bo main, I don't know if I'm going to be able to trust them. Then again, maybe you just like the mountains. Next we have Bonnie. she's definitely a green flag in my opinion. A skilled Bonnie main is really good. They're versatile. They know when to just like focus on attacking from a distance, how to keep up their health, and also when to super on enemies and assassinate them, and then get away safely and patiently wait till their super charges so that they can then get back into the cannon and proceed attacking from a distance. Bonnie's really versatile, so if you're a Bonnie main, you're probably versatile, but you might want to take better care of your teeth. I'm putting Brock in the add me please category. Brock mains, let me tell you, cool as a cucumber. They can handle pressure. They know when to break down the walls. They know when to jump away or to fire a giant rocket at somebody. And they've got the swagger. Bull, though, does not have the swagger. Red flag. I can only imagine Bull mains as impatient, impulsive, and angry. I'm not saying you can't be good if you're playing Bull, but the fact that Bull will just destroy walls that are there to protect him and make him decent is just like, it's so backwards. I just can't stand behind it. Buster, though, green flag. There's something special about somebody who wants to main a brawler that is all about protecting his teammates and pushing enemies back so that his teammates can be the real star of the show. And if you're a Buster main, that's probably you. Buster, though, another red flag. Chances are, if you're playing Buzz, you care more about having fun and being a star of the show, even if it means you die and lose the match for your teammates. Some Buster mains can do incredibly well, but as soon as I see a Buster playing with me, I'm always worried, and I always feel like I have to just like watch out and make up for any mistakes he might make. Byron is another add me please. Byron is incredibly versatile in the fact that he can both deal lots of damage and heal his teammates. And if you're a Byron main and you're good at healing your teammates when you need to, that can absolutely turn the tide of any match and help your team win. Byron mains are supportive. They care about other people's feelings, even though they only do it because they want to win. You sneaky snake oil salesman. Carl mains are a big green flag in my opinion. If you're a Carl main, you're probably really good at what you do and you enjoy having fun while doing it. Even if you're a nerd who likes geology or physics or math. Am I a Carl main? I think I might be. I actually meant to put Carl in the add me please section the whole time, but Charlie's going straight up into the nope category. I don't care how strong Charlie is. If you're maining Charlie, it's probably because you enjoy watching people suffer and you torture them while they are just completely unable to do anything. You're probably emotionally abusive. You might even have an obsession with spiders, which is another big nope for me. Chester has got to be another red flag brawler. Hey, if you're the kind of person that just wants to like throw your fate into the universe and let it decide whether or not you win or lose, cool, you do you. But please just stick to solo showdown and don't play with randoms. I do not want our victory depending on your random supers. Chuck is a yellow flag brawler. And I say this because Chuck can be incredibly good if you know how to position his super and when to use it. And like, he's complex. Like, there's a lot of strategy involved with it. And he can be really good, especially in certain game modes like Heist. But if you're maining Chuck, I seriously am worried that all you care about is having fun, and I have no idea if I can trust you or not. So you might be great. I might love having you on my team, but I also might not. So I feel like he's got to be in the middle. Ruffs, yes, add me, please. Now, this does come with a disclaimer, and that is you are a good, skilled Ruffs main, and you know that more times than not, you're better off throwing your super at a teammate than you are at using it on yourself. If that's you, like I said, add me, please. Ruffs himself might not be the best brawler, but the fact that he can always support the best brawlers in the game makes him so good, and I want somebody on my team that is going to be able to do that. Ruffs mains might be a little bit rough on the exterior, but on the inside, they're just a good boy. Okay, Colette, you know, this is funny. I'm putting her in the nope category. And I know these rankings are completely all over the place. Some are gameplay related, some are not. But like for Colette, she's just insane. She seems mentally psychotic. I can't handle that in my life. Although I will say from a gameplay perspective, Colette's actually a really great brawler to main, even if she's insane. Oh, I know I'm going to upset some people with this, but Colt is going to be a yellow flag brawler for me. Here's the thing. Everybody knows that Colt can be insanely good in the hands of a skilled player. And most of the time, that's great. But if you are facing off against somebody who is equally as skilled, they're going to be able to dodge your shots. And you know what? There are just better options than Colt. So if you are a Colt main, you're probably just hanging on to the glory days of when Colt was always good all the time. And you probably need to learn to give up and move on. Cordelius? Green flag brawler. Gameplay wise, Cordelius could be one of the best brawlers to main. There are some mistakes that can happen with using a super the wrong way, but if you're maining him, you're probably good enough to be able to avoid those. Mental wise, I might be a little bit worried for you, but I can look past some quirks. Hear me out here. I'm going with yellow flag. The thing is that Crow's all about slowly draining the opponents while they just struggle and suffer. And also, sometimes Crow mains, it's just super when they shouldn't, you know? And like, if I see somebody get into a match and they're playing Crow, I'm always a little bit worried that they're gonna screw things up for us, right? But a skilled Crow can be really useful. They have some good fun, you know, as well with their supers and stuff. So I feel like in the middle just kind of makes a little bit of sense. Next, we have Daryl, and he's very similar to Bull, but he's definitely less of a red flag than Bull. We're gonna put him near the top of the red flag category. The thing is that with Daryl, there's actually, there's more skill to be used than Bull. And a skilled Daryl can be incredibly good, but I have heard of Daryl mains who only play Daryl because he loves the booty, and I'm here to brawl. I'm not here for booty. Oh, Doug main. Ooh, no. It's so hard for me to give him anything other than a nope, considering the fact that he's been at the bottom of the tier list for so long. If you're maining Doug, just stop. Okay, next we got a Dyna main. I'm gonna put him right here. And I'm just gonna assume that if you are a Dyna main, you are also using his Dyna jump star power and you're good with it. If that is you, I 100% want you on my team because Dyna mains who know how to use that are incredibly rare and very hard to play against. Okay, Edgar, and there's no way I can place him where I want to without making some people upset. So we'll put him at the top of the red flag. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I have been wrecked by some skilled Edgar mains. Talking to you, OJ. And even though Edgar did get a hypercharge, and he's actually pretty good right now, he was so bad for so long competitively. If you're maining Edgar, like you had to realize at some point that you were just hurting yourself and everyone you care about. Next, we have El Primo, very similar to Edgar, but surprisingly green flag. El Primo's way less flashy than Edgar is, and he has a little bit more survivability. He's more consistent, and El Primo mains are probably more stable, a little bit more reliable. They're probably buff. I imagine every El Primo main is a Chad, and Edgar mains are the opposite of that, whatever that is. Okay, next we have M's main. I'm gonna go with right above Amber, red flag. And there's nothing in particular that's bad with playing M's. M's is a fine brawler, but she's so boring. Even her super is like, oh, M's super is up. Okay, everybody around her just try to run away. And she can deal some pretty good damage. M's is not an awful brawler. I know I've said that, like, I care more about brawlers being good than I care about their personalities, but I think it's safe to assume that M's mains might be a little toxic. Next, we got Eve. I'm putting her right in the middle of everything. Eve can be really good. Her babies are good. Eve mains probably like babies. Liking babies is good. But on top of that, Eve's kind of generally boring, and, you know, if you like maining a brawler that's boring, I mean, that's fine. That's just that yellow flag, you know. Up next, green flag, we've got Fang. Fang has big personality. He's fun. He loves popcorn. I think it's safe to assume that Fang mains love popcorn, which makes them good and fun. Popcorn is great. The only reason why I did not want to move him into the add me please category is the fact that I have seen some even skilled Fang mains just make terrible plays with him. Even though he's game-breakingly strong and OP right now, I think there's some other brawlers I'd rather be a little bit more consistent on my team. But overall, you're probably a good person if you main Fang. Next, we've got Frank at the bottom of the yellow flag tier. A good Frank is good at taking a beating. He's good at positioning himself so that, you know, he can benefit his teammates and just keep enemies away. But it's a little bit torturous to play a Frank because you're such an easy target. You get countered really easily. You might even say you're a little too good at handling abuse. And I think it's good and healthy for some people to be able to stand up for themselves and say no to the abuse. Next, we have Gale. Oh boy, let's put him right here. Gale mains are probably those kinds of people that just want to push everybody away. They won't let anybody in, and anybody they do let in is probably likely just going to get bounced away with a poorly placed jump pad. Gale mains may seem kind of kind and old and wise, but despite being kind, can't love somebody who keeps pushing you away. But for similar, very different reasoning, we also have Jean in the red flag tier. Jean mains are like that annoying little cousin that will not give you some space. No matter what they do, they just pull you right back in. And then they laugh at you like, no, oh, wow. Even I felt cringe just doing that. And I feel so sorry for my viewers, but it had to be said. Okay, next we have Gray. I'm putting him right here. Gray mains scare me because only the absolute best players in the world actually know how to use his portals without annoying his teammates. The number of times that I've played with a Gray that has put a teleporter in the worst possible place and then I like, it's frustrating, and honestly, part of me wants to just put him straight in the nope category, but I can't avoid the fact that those teleporters can be real life-changing, and a skilled gray can absolutely change the game for you. Additionally, if you're a gray main, you're probably good at listening. Maybe because you can't talk, but nobody else has to know that. Next, we have Griff. Add me, please, 100%. The only explanation you need to know is the fact that I main Griff. I'm going to take Grom and I'm going to put him right next to Eve. I don't have a whole lot of strong feelings about anybody who mains Grom. I also can't think of very many people who main Grom. If you're out there, let me know in the comment section. You tell me what I should think of you. Gus, another add me, please. The thing is, I don't even expect a Gus to be able to like heal me or take care of me or add a shield to me or anything like that. But when I'm playing with a main Gus and he does that, it's like, wow, you just made my day so much better. It's like that first compliment a girl gave you in 6th grade that you will never forget. Gosh, Hank? Yeah. Oh, no. I would be shocked if there was a single Hank main out there. He's so bad right now. I mean, he has a place in like Hot Zone and stuff, but is there anybody really out there just playing Hank all day, every day? Do you love yourself? Because you should. Life doesn't have to be like that. Please find some help. You deserve it, even if you're a Hank main. Jackie mains are even worse. Putting her way down here. I don't even care if Jackie's actually good with her hypercharge. It's just a matter of time before every other brawler in the game has a hypercharge and she's back at the bottom again. If you're a Jackie main, you're probably destructive. You have no consideration for other people's eardrums. Also, you could probably use some nicer language around the children. If you're a Janet main, you know what? Green flag. I can only imagine Janet mains are kind people. They take care of others. They enjoy entertainment. They sing for the benefit of their fellow people, assuming they're good at singing. And if they're not good at singing, then they don't. Except for when you're in the shower and you know nobody's listening. Next are Jessie mains. Green flag. And as much as I would love to say this is because I love Jessie, she's my favorite brawler, the truth is I actually don't main Jessie. I very rarely play her, even if she is my favorite brawler. But if she's your favorite brawler, and you main her, you're probably good at thinking on your feet. You can look at new situations and adapt accordingly, but also you have a little soft spot in your heart. I feel like this is so unfair, but I'm putting Kit in the nope category. This is unfair because Kit literally hasn't even been released at the time I'm recording this, and the only people who have Kit spent $30 to buy him a week early. And to make things worse, Kit is completely broken in Showdown, and you can't win against a Kit that has 6 or more power cubes. It's impossible. I don't even care how many people have been posting on Reddit about how to counter Kits. It's impossible, and I hate you for abusing that bug. You might be having fun, but everybody else hates you too. Stop playing Kit until he's balanced. Larry and Laurie's not even out yet, so I probably shouldn't be placing him anywhere, but yeah. So I feel like I'm gonna go with yellow flag. You might be good at playing the game. You might be terrible at playing the game. I don't know what to say about you. You don't exist yet. And if you do exist, can I borrow your time machine? Next we have Leon. I'm putting him right next to Edgar. Leon is all about mind games. I don't like playing mind games with people in my life. I like people who I understand, who will love me back, dedicate some time into the relationship, and who will stop sneaking up behind me. Sure, Leon might be great sometimes. He might be a skilled brawler. I just realized that maybe Leon mains are Leon mains because they don't feel seen. I'm sorry for what I said. I'll put you in the yellow flag category. I see you, but that's only because you're standing within 2 tiles of me. Up next, we got Lola mains, yellow flag. Lola can deal absolutely insane damage, and if you're really good with Lola, then I might want you on my team. But at the same time, I might be worried about your little dark personality that you might use to stab me in the back sometime. Up next, we got Lou at the top of the green flag. I just can't imagine somebody who mains Lou to be a bad person. Yes, he is one of the best brawlers in the game right now, so people might be maining him harder than normal, but snow cones. How can I hate somebody who loves snow cones so much? Not to mention ice skating, like, you know, he just wants to have some fun, throws down that super, you know? He's gonna help his teammates. He's gonna deal a lot of damage. Yeah, Lou mains are good. Maisie mains are also good. Maisie's one of those brawlers that when she was first released, she was actually pretty terrible. Then they gave her a little bit of a buff, and ever since then, I haven't played her at all. But I can tell you, I am happy when I have a good, skilled Maisie on my team. Mostly because they can just push everybody out of the way so that I can score a goal in Brawl Ball. And anybody who makes it possible for me to score is obviously a good person. Next, we got Mandy, and she's the worst. Honestly, I almost considered putting her in the nope category, except for the fact that Mandy's actually pretty good. But there's just something mean and nasty about shooting at somebody from across the map that you can't see because they're just shooting off shots. And how is it that a Mandy can always hit her super when she's firing against me, whenever I'm playing Mandy, I can't hit anybody with my super ever. I'm not convinced that Mandy mains aren't cheating, and I refuse to believe that they're just better than me. Although I will say I like Candy like Mandy does, so, you know. That's the one reason she's not in the nope tier. Wow, okay, next we got Max. You know what, and I know I put Griff up here as a joke because he's my favorite. I can't take him out of the add me please. I'm gonna leave him up here. But Max, definitely add me please. Max is one of the best brawlers at supporting teammates, and yet Max herself is actually really good. If you main Max, you're probably reliable. You help your teammates. That's useful. You might be a little addicted to energy drinks, but that's okay. I mean, it's probably not health-wise. You're just helping people. You're sharing whatever you're drinking with them. Oh man, Meg mains? Yeah, that's another nope for me. Do you recognize the fact that there are people who play this game with audio turned on? And do you recognize the fact that there are some times when you put down pins or use special abilities and stuff like that, that they can hear Meg's voice lines? Do I need to say anything else? Man, Miko mains? Yeah, you can get out of here too. No. I don't care how good Miko is. I don't like monkeys jumping on my head. No more monkeys jumping on my head. The fewer Mikos around, the better. I know you can counter Miko, but if you're a Miko main, there's a good chance you don't know when to call it quits, and that's right before I kill you because you're jumping all over the place. Just stop monkeying around. Brawl Stars is a serious game. Okay. If this was 3 years ago, Mortis would have been in the nope tier 100%, but I feel like I can't do that, so I'm going to put him in the yellow tier. Yeah, I'll put him right here. I get it. Mortis is fun to play. You like him because he dashes. And I also get it. He's not absolutely terrible and just hot trash like he used to be. But that doesn't mean that I always support you playing a brawler just because he's fun. Because guess what? A lot of you Mortis mains need to stop playing him because he's not that good. You're not that good. You are torturing yourself and you are torturing other people with every single loss. Unless you can consistently win 60% of your matches with Mortis. Okay, 60%, that's the number. If you can do that, you're free to keep playing him, but otherwise just quit because you're addicted and it's unhealthy. Man, Mr. P's another nope tier. Gosh, if you're a Mr. P main, you get negative points for the fact that we also hear your audio. You get negative points for the fact that it takes way too long for you to get your super. And even after you do put down your super, half of your porters are going to be useless. And you know what? Even though this might sound a little backwards, you also get negative points for the fact that when I'm playing against your porters, they're annoying and I don't like them. And I hate saying mean things about people, but you're annoying. I don't actually think you're annoying. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm sorry if I offended you. Okay, Nani mains. Whoa, add me, please. I'm assuming that if you're a Nani main, it's because you are actually good with Nani. And Nani is insane if you main her and you get really good at aiming your shots because damage is just gnarly. Plus, Nani mains are kind-hearted and they take care of children. And that's probably good, even though they do have a creepy big eye that just stares at you. Nita mains, red flag. I like your bear. And that's what I like about you. Okay, next, Otis mains, red flag, definitely. People who main Otis are so self-centered that it doesn't matter what other people are saying. They're willing to silence you. They will cut you off. They will yell at you, whatever it takes in order for their own gibberish to be said. You might have something great to say. In fact, you might even be better at the game than I am. But everybody deserves a voice, so don't silence us. Take a moment to listen. Oh, dude, Pam. I swear I'm not going with add me please with all the support. Well, I guess that is what I'm doing here. But Pam, yeah, she's up here. I mean, what isn't there to love about Pam mains? They can deal tons of damage. They will support you with heals. They will support you with love. They will support you with support. And I know that sounds a little weird, but you know what I'm talking about. Pam mains are the kind of people to just give you a hug when you're feeling down and to raise you up. Pearl mains, though, yellow flag. The real question I have about every Pearl main out there is, are you playing Pearl because you're good at managing your heat bar? Are you good at dealing damage when it's important? Are you good at staying back so that your heat bar can fill up? Or do you just love cookies? Because one of those is the right decision and one of them is the wrong one. So let me know what you think is the right reason. Because for me, it's cookies. Okay, next we got Penny. Green flag. You know, Penny's got a little bit of a rough personality, right? But Penny mains are also fun-loving, and a good Penny main will put a turret in a position that is going to just wreck the enemy team. But not like wreck them in a way that it's just like there's nothing they can do about it ever. Like she lets a little bit of counterplay, especially if they've got some throwers or something. And that makes Penny mains reasonable. Okay, next we have Piper. I could put Piper right next to Mandy and totally justify it. Instead, though, I'm putting her right next to B and I'm justifying that. The thing is about Mandy mains is that they will attack you from a distance and they will do it sourly and angrily and they're probably cheating. Whereas B mains and Piper mains, it's all about skill. And you know what? I'm going to snipe you from a distance. There's nothing you can do about it, but I'm going to smile at you. I'm going to like look good while I do it, you know? Piper mains are the kinds of people I want on my team because they are skilled and every single shot counts. Also, their super is not dumb. I'm talking to you, Mandy mains. Okay, maybe I have a thing for the healers, but Poco's also add me, please. In fact, I'm going to go right below Gus. Even though he is a better healer than Gus, I feel like Poco, I mean, not only is he going to show you that love and support and those heals exactly when you need it, he's also going to play you beautiful music every single time he does that. I want a Poco main that will support me when I'm making aggressive plays that I should not be making. I want that burst heal from 10 tiles away because he recognizes that I do need some support for my stupid decision. But the thing is about Poco mains is that they don't just support you when you make mistakes. They're also there to lift you back up when you recognize it was a mistake. They're like that best friend that you wish that your best friend was. Okay, next we got Rico. Definite green flag right there. Rico mains know exactly how to angle every single shot so that it always hits their target. And you know, that's annoying to play against. But when you're facing off against a Rico main and they are just absolutely wrecking you because you're always in the wrong spot and they're always shooting it perfectly, you know it's because they're just better than you. They have taken out their compass and measured every single angle to the perfect degree. And it's annoying. And yes, they are nerds, but deep down you recognize that they deserve the win because they're just that good. Rosa mains, yellow flag. Rosa mains are kind of like Frank, right? They're tanky. They know how to take a beating. They can shield you. They can protect you. They also charge the enemy super a lot of times when they do that, but a skilled Rosa main will always be in the right position and only make that happen when it needs to. Ooh, next we got RT, green flag here. The thing with RT is that he'll flag somebody and it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you hit them, you do extra damage and that could kill the enemy brawler. That's exciting. I want that on my team. Up next, we got Sam. I'm putting him right next to Rosa. The thing about Sam is that he is good at dealing damage. He's really easy to use. I don't imagine that most Sam mains are going to have the highest IQ, but not like a low IQ. I mean, Sam has a lot to manage when it comes to whether or not you throw his super, how to collect it. You deal less damage when you don't have his knuckle busters compared to when he does have his knuckle busters. Like, there's a lot to manage. At the same time, though, they're a little hard-headed, and me saying that's gonna offend them even more. Okay, next we got Sandy. Right next to Ruffs. Sandy, you know what, might be sleepy, but we're all a little tired if I'm being honest. And the thing is that you get to be invisible when his super drops. And Sandy is hard to play. You have to be really careful about managing his range. You have to like be really patient about it. And Sandy mains are good at that. And who gets to reap the reward of Sandy charging up his super? Everybody does. That's great. That's exciting. Add me, please, Sandy mains. Shelly mains. Oh, I gotta go with a red flag here. Shelly's the first brawler that you ever unlock. She's not terrible. She used to be a lot worse, but you know, anybody who is maining Shelly is probably afraid of some progress. They might get really, really, really good at one thing, but they're not going to be great at everything else. And because they don't have quite as much experience playing other brawlers, it just has me worried that I can't trust them to know every counter in every situation, you know? Progression is good. Learning new skills is good. Shelly mains should take a note. You know, and surprisingly, Spike mains are similar. Spike has consistently been in the S tier more than any other brawler in the game in the history of Brawl Stars. He's almost always been great. And because of that, there are some people who unlock Spike, maxed him out, went with his curveball star power because it's broken and kind of unfair, and have only played Spike for 80% of their matches. The only reason why you're just a little bit above Shelly mains is the fact that Spike's been better than Shelly most of the time. But progress is good. Learning new brawlers is good. Don't be afraid of moving on. Spike will always be there to comfort you if you really need to go back. I'm putting Sprout in the green flag tier. We're gonna go with right above Rico. A skilled Sprout main will put walls in the ultimate position, and it will be so annoying for the opponents. The one reason why I was so hesitant to put it lower is the fact that Sprout can also trap its teammates, and I hate it when that happens. But if you're a Sprout main, I'm going to assume that you're not going to do that. Okay. Squeak mains. Gross. Nope. In fact, you're moving down here just a little bit. Oh yeah, that feels right. And you know what? I'm saying this as somebody who loves to play Squeak. You know, Squeak's good. Squeak is insane. Actually, Squeak's unfair, but Squeak is so dang annoying. I hate Squeaks. Stop playing Squeak, especially with his broken same stinking gadget. You just like seeing other people in pain. And that doesn't make me like you. Oh man, this is cathartic. I didn't realize that this was going to help. I feel like I'm getting stuff off my chest. This is great. Even if I do feel like I need to apologize every time I say something mean. Genuinely, I'm sorry. Okay, next we got Stu mains. Add me, please. Stu's incredibly hard to master. He's incredibly good when you do. He is incredibly versatile, and I love Stu mains to be on my team because of it. I also love his turret that he can just drop down that will speed everybody else up. Like, I love Stu main. They might be a little bonkers, but you know, does that really matter if you guys are crushing every single opponent you face? Surge mains, a green flag, yeah. I will admit that I played with a lot of Surges that are not very good at staying alive after they've reached max level. Like, they're just like, I'm so powerful, I'm just gonna go die. That's frustrating. But Surge has ways of overcoming that with his gadgets, his star powers and stuff. And you know, Surge mains are really good to have on the team because they do ramp up and can be incredibly difficult to take down once they do. And if you're a Surge main, you're probably good at powering up in life, getting those real life gains, you know? Next is Terra, a green flag main. Terra has one of the strongest supers in the game. And the cool thing about it is that even though Terra absolutely rocks with it, she can also pull enemies so that you can rock with it. Like, you don't even have to be playing Terra and you get to benefit from all those enemies being pulled up close to each other. It's awesome. She can break walls, which I don't know why that's important right now, but I felt like I needed to say it. In fact, you know what? It's good to break walls when you're trying to overcome difficult stuff in life. They're better wall breakers, but I feel it. We're moving on. Okay, next we got Tick. Honestly, I wish I could have just done this at the very beginning. Worst kind of main. Nope. I think we can all agree that the fewer people playing Tick, the better. Tick mains are the kinds of people that will just like, you know, throw little daggers into your soul every now and then. You know, they're never quite happy. They always just try to make people a little bit more miserable. Not like so much that you recognize that they're manipulating you, but like just enough every now and then that you just slowly become unhappy in your life. And all of the happiness has been sucked out of you until you're just as miserable as the Tick main. Finally, you got Willow. You know what? Pretty close to nope, but bottom of the red flag. Nobody loves somebody that likes to manipulate you quite like Willow does. But the thing is about Willow is that you can dodge her shots, unlike Tick's. And she does give you a fair chance because you know what? Her super is not guaranteed to hit every time. And even when it does happen, it's actually not as effective as you might think a lot of the time. When they run you into the smoke though, and you die a very long, sufferable death though, that's a real special kind of torture. There you have it, every brawler main and what it says about you. Please don't hate me.